Amp says, Nello slicker than most black boxers. He incorporated the shoulder roll after fighting Floyd, and he's very smooth defensively. Stop the bias, people. See, I don't think these guys know what slick is, right? But again, these guys became fans of the sport of boxing. They follow a certain boxing communities. They are over here in the chat right now. I haven't even seen a lot of them, to be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure they're over here in the chat right now, and they're watching the show. So a lot of these guys, they get miseducated. They don't really know a lot about the sport of boxing, and they follow narratives, and they're being miseducated, and that's fine. If that's what they want to do, so be it. And a lot of these guys, they really don't know anything about boxing at all, and quite a few of them really have like some low IQ issues. So that's what it is. I get it, I understand. But you notice I keep coming back to, can you give me an example of right now today, a slick black fighter / power fighter who Canelo was ducking? Now, I will say this. My brother Big Zan from Tennessee, he did say that David Benavidez, even though he's not black, but he said David Benavidez, so we're going to move him to the side. He said Jermall Charlo. He believed that Jermall Charlo is that guy that has that power that Canelo is avoiding. He said Beterbiev. Now, you notice David Benavidez, and Beterbiev are not black. So now, then he said Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a career welterweight. He is of the opinion that Errol Spence has the power to give Canelo problems, and Canelo has avoided him. So out of the 4 fighters he gave me, he only gave me 2 that's black. And out of the 2 that's black, 1 is a career welterweight and 1 is a middleweight. And the one that's at middleweight said that Canelo was not ducking him, and this is what he said.
I'm sorry? 160 is my weight division. I want to unify. I want to get Golovkin in the ring. I want to bring him to Houston. You know what I'm saying? I want to get Canelo out here to Houston. If they really to come down to 160, this is my weight division.
So it's hard for me to make an argument for a guy who they say that Canelo was ducking when that very same guy said that Canelo was not ducking him. And I've been watching boxing for 40 years. I know what a slick boxer is, and there's nothing slick about Jermall Charlo stylistically. You think of slick, you think of someone who knows how to slip punches in the pocket. I.e. Pernell Whitaker. He was a master at it. I.e. James Lights Out Tony. James Lights Out Tony, he wasn't that athletic. He'll be sitting right in front of you, and when you throw a punch at him, you'll miss him by inches, and he'll come back with the counter, the pull counter, the pull counter right cross, the pull counter uppercut. He come with the hook, all of that stuff. James Lights Out Tony. These guys don't know what slick is. And when I ask them, give me an example of what a slick fighter is, Shakur Stevenson is a slick fighter. Shakur Stevenson is a slick fighter. So I just, again, I'm trying to give these guys the benefit of the doubt to try to see. And then we talk about Euro bombs. Okay, cool. Now let's move on to the Euro bombs. When we talk about Canelo fights nothing but Euro bombs, because we hear that a lot. Listen, guys, here goes the poll. Here go the results of the poll. This ain't me. This ain't me capping. This ain't Coach Malachi Williams capping for Canelo Alvarez. As you can see, 563 people participated in this poll. And out of the 563 people that participated, 18% said, yes, Canelo only fights Euro bombs in the name of chasing greatness. So when you hear people say that, yeah, man, Canelo act like he chasing greatness. He ain't fighting nobody but Euro bombs. 18% of the people who participated in this poll believe that. But guess what? 82% of the people who participated in this poll said no. Dimitri Bivol is a great fighter and an undefeated champion. So that tells me that a lot of the 18% that feels this way, more than likely, if I did a poll or a survey and asked them which channels that they rock with, which channels that they get their information from, and do they like Canelo Alvarez or not, more than likely they would say no. And the 82% would say they probably feel favorable towards Canelo Alvarez. And that's what it is. And then I say, okay, when I look at these other guys' resumes that you tell me that Canelo is ducking, especially Jermall Charlo and Andrade resume jumps out at you. In defense of Andrade, like what Steve Kim says, I totally agree. Steve Kim, and I agree with him on this. Andrade is, nobody wants to fight Demetrius Andrade. None of the top guys. Jermall Charlo, the slick black fighter with the power from Houston, he avoid Demetrius Andrade like the plague. He don't want to fight him, and Canelo don't want to fight him. So you have a Mexican and a black guy, a black American that don't want to fight Demetrius Andrade, which is the black American. For whatever the reason may be. I'm not saying that they're scared of him. Whatever the reason may be, they do not want to fight that guy. Period. Yeah, so I'm still coming back to I'm still coming back to, like, give me some examples of some fighters, man. Like, okay, who the slick black fighters are the power punchers right now? Like, and I'm, I'm trying to, you say Jermall Charlo went life and death with Juan Montiel. I didn't see where was the punching power at in that fight. Juan Montiel is the same guy that got put to sleep by Jaime Munguia. So I don't even see the power there. I don't see that there. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I got a GED. You know what I mean? I'm not the sharpest butter knife in the kitchen drawer. I'm not the brightest light bulb in the ceiling. I'm just trying to make it make sense. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Frank from Texas, from Dallas.
What your name is, fam?
Frank.
Frank from Dallas. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. No, I was going to make it quick. I was just going to say, a lot of people, they like to say, bring up Charlo as this powerful fighter. But since he moved up, his knockouts have went down. I mean, I know he's only had about 7 fights. This is going to be his 8th fight. But, I mean, he's got less than half of his fights at 160 be knockouts. And who's to say if he moves up to 168 that power is going to translate?
Yeah, I mean, again, and that's if he moves up. For what we know is this here. I know what Jermall Charlo said out of his mouth. He said that 160 is his weight division. And if I don't see him moving up in middleweight, moving up to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168, how are you willing to fight him at 168? You want to know why? If that's the case, it's because Canelo is the draw. He is the one that he's going to make his highest payday against. So now you're willing to move up to fight Canelo at 168. This hypothetical. Let's entertain this. But you're not willing to move up to fight David Benavidez, the same guy that's a PBC fighter on the same side of the street as you. You're not willing to move up to fight him. And they say that Canelo was ducking David Benavidez, and that's fine, even though David Benavidez refuted that. But how come Jermall Charlo won't fight David Benavidez? They're on the same side of the street. How come Jermall Charlo won't fight the white boy, a.k.a. White Chocolate, the dude named Caleb Plant? How come he won't move up to 168 to fight him? So you're telling me in one breath that Jermall Charlo is a threat. He's the slick black fighter. He's the power puncher that Canelo is afraid of and don't want to fight. And he don't want to fight him at 168, while ignoring the fact that that same slick black fighter with power from Houston, Texas, is refusing to move up to 168 to fight his own stablemates, David Benavidez and Caleb Plant. Make it make sense to me, sir. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, guys. Like, I want to be on your side. I want to be on the F Canelo train. I want to be on the Canelo ducking Jermall Charlo. He ducking Benavidez. He don't want to fight no slick black fighters. He don't want to. Now it's he don't want to fight no fighters that whether they black or not. You know what I mean? That's gonna give him trouble. I want to be on this. I want to be on this train. But then when I look at these fighters outside of Beterbiev, and Errol Spence is a career welterweight, so we can't even bring Errol Spence into this. But outside of Beterbiev, Benavidez, he can't even get Jermall Charlo in the ring. This guy that you say that's a monster, they can't even get this dude in the ring. And then this guy won't even fight the other 2 dudes. So I'm just trying to make it make sense, dog. And every time I bring this up, it's a whole lot of filibustering. It's Canelo is the face of boxing. He's a drug cheat and this and that, and we don't like him. Yeah, okay, all right, sir, but I'm trying to stay on the. Okay, you saying he fighting Eurobombs? Yeah, he fighting Eurobombs. You do know that Jermall Charlo has literally fought, he's literally, you do know, brother, that the same guy who you say that Canelo is ducking has literally fought what you would classify as Eurobombs. He's fighting Macy Sulecki, who lost to Boo Boo Andrade and Daniel Jacobs. He is Boo Boo Andrade and Daniel Jacobs leftovers. And I think he's from Poland. And then he fought Juan Marcel Montiel. He's from Mexico. Then he fought Sergey Derevyanchenko. He's what we consider the Eurobomb, 13-4. I think he's from the Ukraine or Russia or somewhere over there. Then he fought Dennis Hogan. Then he fought Brandon Adams, the brother who moved up to 154. He went 12 rounds with. Then he fought Matev Korobov. He's from Russia. Then he fought Hugo Centeno Jr. Then he fought Jorge Sebastian Hyland. So how you gonna say that in one breath, Canelo fighting undefeated champion after undefeated champion? You say he's fighting Eurobombs while ignoring the fact of that who Jermall Charlo is fighting. Like, dude, I don't get it, dog. I swear I don't get it. And I think I don't get it because I don't, because I got to be slow. Maybe I'm slow. I'm not a part of the slow learning disability boxing community. And I don't have a low IQ. I do have a master's degree in common sense, but it just don't make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go. Come on.